most of the tour groups nowadays, they are given certain time frames. Each country are given time frames with regards to the pelting. They are given throughout the day. So this region, all the people that come from this area can only go at that time. Or they can only go at this time. Or they can only go at this time. So normally what happens is the tour operator sometimes takes the group. You can go anytime you want, there is no problem. But the tour operator or the agent, for the safety of the people who are accompanying him, he follows those guidelines and he goes at that particular appointed time frame. And many a times people who do not like to follow their agent, they go on their own. That is also well and good. If you think you can do it by yourself, then there's no harm in doing it. You don't have to wait for the tour, or you don't have to wait for the group in doing your rituals of Hajj, or following them at each ritual. You can do them on your own, as the Shaykh mentioned. Now, after we have stoned the last pillar, the next thing we have to do is we have to offer the sacrifice. And we have to remember that there are two different types of sacrifices. One is the double shukr. The one sacrifice is for Hajj, and one sacrifice is the regular udhiyah, which we do in the days of Eid. Now, most of us, because we are traveling, this obligation is not a responsibility any longer. But if we want to do it, we can still do it there, or we can appoint someone to do it on our behalf anywhere in the world. So we can offer two sacrifices, one for the Hajj and one for the udhiyah if we want, or we can just limit ourselves, which is a must. We do the sacrifice of the Hajj. So pilgrims have to perform two different animal sacrifices, each for a different reason. The usual udhiyah, the reason for this is the person being from those who can afford to do so on the days of Eid. And the one is for Thanksgiving at the conclusion of Hajj. The animal sacrifice of Eid al-Adha has no relationship with Hajj. So it can be done on the 10th, 11th, or 12th. Also it can be done anywhere in the world. And the double shukr is the sacrifice for Hajj and needs to occur right after the pelting on the 10th, and it needs to occur in the vicinity of the Haram. So after this, when the sacrifice is done, sometimes people go on their own to the slaughterhouses. As you are going towards the pelting of the shaitan, you will see big signs, slaughterhouse. It's not far from where the North American camp is. So many people, sometimes they choose to go on their own and do their sacrifice, or sometimes this responsibility has been taken care of by the tour operator. And after our sacrifice is done, normally he makes an announcement that so-and-so's sacrifice has been offered, now you can go and shave your head. But we should wait. We should not hasten, and we should not, many people, they make a mistake in this. After they come back from the Jamara, the first thing they do after coming back to Mina is they shave their head, and their sacrifice has not even been done yet. So we have to be very careful. We should wait for the announcement if we are not doing it on our own. And if we are doing it on our own, then after we have sacrificed, then we shave our head. And if we are not doing it on our own, then we ensure that our tour operator informs us and tells us, brother or sister, your sacrifice has been offered. Now you can release yourself from the ihram by shaving your head. So after this, the pilgrim will shave his head and he will come out of his ihram. But there is one restriction which remains, is the spousal relations. We cannot engage in spousal relations unless and after we have done the tawaf, the tawaful ifam. Now this is the sequence. According to Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, we pelt on the 10th, animal sacrifice, shaving of the head. So remember, PAS, P-A-S, pelting, animal sacrifice, and shaving of the head. Now many times what is going to happen, there are going to be people selling vouchers for money, 300 riyals, 400 riyals, and they are going to be guaranteeing us on the from the Jamarat, you will see people, selling these vouchers. Ensure that you do not buy these vouchers, because many a times your sacrifice is not done. They are just there to make some money from people, from the pilgrims. So they are going to guarantee animal sacrifice, and this is no benefit to us. Why? Because it is harmful, because we need our animal sacrifice to fall between pelting on the 10th and shaving. And sometimes it is impossible for these people to guarantee that your sacrifice will be done. Now after you have shaved your head, sacrificed the animal, now you are in your normal clothes. Now you can start using the soap, the scented soap. You can put on your regular clothing, stitched clothing. All the restrictions have been relaxed now. As I mentioned, the only thing which remains is the spousal relations. Our marital relations with our wives, we cannot engage in those unless and until we have completed the Tawaf al-Ifadah. So this is also known as the Tawaf al-Ziyarah. And this is fard in Hajj. Now it is better that we do this Tawaf al-Ziyarah on the 10th. And it can also be done between the pelting, between the sacrificing, or halal. You can, after you have pelted the shaitan, you can go and do your tawaf. But we have to remember that this day, everyone is going to be doing everything at the same time. So it's going to be very, 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 very crowded. And it's going to be very, 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 very busy. We should not lose our patience, and be calm, be alert, do not get worried, and do not be frightened, and do not be scared. Now when we go into the haram to offer this tawaf al-ifadah or the tawaf al-ziyarah, it is going to be very crowded, very crowded. And the tawaf, which you might have done prior to the Hajj, you might have done it within a span of 15 minutes, or sometimes half an hour, or sometimes even 20 minutes. But this tawaf, it's going to take you some time. And it's very slow, very crowded, because the haram is packed. And especially nowadays, because of the construction, it is going to be even more packed. So we have to be very patient, try to do everything calmly, do not rush, engage in your dua and the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and try to do everything in a calm state, in a calm manner. So this tawaf can be done. When can we do it up to? We can do it up to the 12th before the sunset. If any later, then it is disliked by the law, and many scholars have made it makruh. And if we postpone it, then a dam will become mandatory upon us. And we have to remember that the Hajj remains undone without the tawaf, and the pilgrims, they remain in a sacred state until the tawaf is successfully performed. We are in our normal clothes, but we are still in a state of ihram according to our relationship with our wives. Now, also after this tawaf, we also have to do the sa'i, just like we had done the sa'i of the umrah and the tawaf of the umrah. We will do the same thing here. Now, many times the sisters, they experience their monthly cycle. So this is something which is very important and needs to be clarified with the sisters, that if a sister is in her menstrual cycle, she can do all the rites of Hajj except entering the masjid. She can do her wuquf, she can do her wuquf in Muzdalifah, she can do the jamarat, she can stay in Arafah, she can stay in Mina. The only thing which she cannot do is she cannot enter the masjid, and she cannot do the tawaf of the masjid. So sometimes what happens, that the tawaf al-ifadah